Welcome back to my channel, friends. Hello, if you're new, I'm Nadia here at Nadia Plans. I love to share all things planning, stationery, journaling, all the things. And I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. I did a thing, clearly. Oh my goodness, you guys. I have been on a planner journey. If you have been on my channel for some time, then you know that I initially started off as a digital planner, and then I kind of jumped back into the analog physical planner world. After my trip to Japan, I repicked up a Hobonichi and was having just a great time getting back into an analog space. And then as of recently, I found Traveler's Notebook, and I have been doing some journaling and planning in here, and I've really been enjoying it. This is such a fun book, such a fun space. And since I've kind of been in just a little bit of an exploration mood from having moved on from Hobonichi to Travelers, I have seen all over my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube for me page, Filofax. And I actually have always had a Filofax desire and love ever since I was a young girl. I remember watching the Mary-Kate and Ashley movie. I believe it was the New York Minute movie, and one of the characters had a Filofax, and I'll pop in a picture of what I'm talking about. And ever since I watched that movie, I have always wanted that type of planner system. And I never knew what it was, and I never actually went for it. I just kind of lived my life without. And I've seen this planner in particular pop up on other movies and shows. I've seen it pop up on 27 Dresses, and I've also seen Pam from The Office with like a green Filofax, I believe. And I've always just been so intrigued by the beauty of Filofax and the simplicity, but I never really knew what it was, and I never really gave it the time of day. And since it started popping up on my feed, on my YouTube For You page, I have just been watching a ton of Filofax videos, a ton of people unboxing and showing you a flip through of their systems, and I fell in love with Sleepy Notes Club, I believe is what it's called, the YouTube channel. And she has just the most beautiful videos of updating her system and updating everything, and I did it. I bought a Filofax. And I have been using this for the last couple of weeks, and I didn't want to share with you guys until I had actually used it for a little bit, that I would then share it with you. I honestly have been craving more productivity tools to be more efficient in my life. I have now started working 40 hours a week again. My kids are in school. We just moved into this house, and I have been wanting to implement more processes and a better way of doing that in my life. And so, first things first, I just want to say that this has been working out beautifully, and I think it is a beautiful companion. Like, these two work really well for me in a lot of ways. The Travelers is more creative for me. It is a place where I go and I memory keep and junk journal and do my creative thoughts and stuff there. And then my Filofax is a productive tool that I use to kind of offload all of the things that are living in my brain into one book. And I'll talk about that more as I flip through the pages in here, because I do want to open this up and show you how I've been using it But to start here, this is the Filofax Saffiano in the personal size in black. I bought this off of Amazon. I just wanted to buy something that I could easily return if I wanted to, if it wasn't going to work out for me. And like I said, I've been in here for 2 weeks and it has worked so well for me. So let's just jump on in and I'll give you a little walkthrough, a little tour of my Filofax. All right, so let's just jump on in. I have a very minimal setup here on the pockets. I just have a picture of me and my husband here that just keeps sliding in. And then I just have some stickers in here, birthday stickers. We are celebrating birthdays in the month of March, so I just have that. And then I just have a little decor memo sheet there. And then on the front here of my rings is kind of my first dashboard. And if you watched my Travelers March setup for my dashboard, it is very similar. It's kind of following the same brown theme, the birthday theme. And I just have this little sticky note that my daughter wrote that says, "I love you, Mom." And I love opening this up because it just, I don't know, it just fills my heart with joy. And so I have this little plastic type of divider just as my first little dashboard. And then as I had it set up in my Travelers, I have a picture of my son when he was born. He will be 3 tomorrow. We share a birthday, so our birthday is tomorrow. And I just love having this picture of him in here. And then I have just a Bible verse that I have been wanting to memorize, and so I love that I have it here and I'm able to reference every single day and just kind of practice memorizing it, and so that's been really great. And then I have also just this little Cat Collage Club print out with some washi and this little magazine cutout that says, "We lack nothing when we have him." And then in here I have this little insert sheet of just my family, my husband and I, and then our kids. And it's this beautiful memo pad that I picked up off of Amazon. I'll have it linked below, and it just has all of these beautiful pink toned memo pads, and I just love this color. I think it looks so cute. And then in here, I just have this little acetate, I think is what it is, that came with the Filofax when I ordered it. And I've just been putting a sticker on each month that has passed. I think that that looks really cute. And so then we are going to move into my kind of my monthly section. But this is a section that I reference all the time. I open up my book and this is the first thing that I reference when I go to my Filofax. And I just have this vellum that I printed out of this house and hole punched it and popped it into here. And I actually had this vellum for a while, and I was trying to fit it into my Hobonichi for a little bit, and I was trying to fit it into my Travelers, and I could never really make it work. And being able to cut it, punch it, and pop it into here has been so fun. Such a good time, honestly. Getting to just kind of make this my own with the things that I already have has been really fun. And then moving on, this is a March calendar from Sleepy Notes Club. It's a freebie that she has, and I've been using it as a rings tracker. And I started using rings in February, but I don't have the month of February in here. And so I just like to track the days that I have been in rings, because again, I really don't want to do a lot of planner hopping, and I really want to stay consistent. And I feel like I've found that in Filofax for my productive planning, just because I can change the inside of here up as many times as I want to, add things that work. So I have a tracker for that. And then I have my month at a glance. And that's one thing that I feel like I was missing when it came to my travelers, is that I had a weekly layout and then I had a logging layout, but I didn't have a month at a glance calendar. I rely heavily on this to track things such as, birthdays or events, breaks, hangouts with friends, wanting to track my paydays. And I didn't have that. I had that in my Hobonichi weeks, but then I switched over to travelers and there was a big gap for that. And so adding this back into my planning, my productive planning, was very helpful. And I didn't really do a lot of decorating in here. Again, this is very functional for me. This is a place where I come and I see all the things that I have going on, and I don't necessarily need to make it cute or aesthetic. I have my creative space in my travelers, and so this is just a place where I brain dump all of my events and everything. And so I actually printed this insert from Good Cozy. I believe it's Tori on Paper's shop that she has, and this was a freebie printable insert as well. And I just kind of combined the two with the Sleepy Notes Club and the Tori on Paper one. And so that has been working really well. And then on the back here, I used the Sleepy Notes Club inbox freebie as well. And so I've just kind of combined the two. I really like both of their styles and their inserts. And so I think that this has worked really well for me. And so I have an inbox here for March and then March goals, and I have just color coded them for work, for YouTube, or stationery related stuff, and then like life, home stuff. And then I have my March wins here, which March isn't over yet. So, and then again, I have another vellum here to separate the months. And so we're going to jump into April. This is April printed out again. Very functional planning here. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. And then I also have May monthlies. And this is also from Good Cozy, I believe. I'll have it linked below with an inbox for things that I need to do. And then I have the May calendar. And so I like having only 3 months in here at a time. I think that this works really well for me. Just to have 3 months at a time. And since I am printing these out myself, it has been nice to only have to print out a few months versus having to print every single month of the year out. Then I think that this would get really, really chunky, and I don't necessarily want it to get too stuffed. Okay, so then we move into my weekly section, and I did do a little bit of decor for my weeklies, but nothing super crazy. And again, this is very functional planning for me. I just track any events that we have, people coming over. I've been tracking our dinners on here. Same with this week. And so I have been tracking, meetings, dinners, any events happening, mine and my son's birthday, petting zoo at my son's school. And one main difference is that in my TN, I was using the free diary weekly memo, and I was using this, how I was using it in my Hobonichi weeks was that I had the schedule on this side, and then I had a running to do and a running to buy list on this side. And that worked really, really well. But when I bought the Filofax, it came with the week on 2 pages, I believe is what it's called. And so I didn't want to buy a whole new insert. I think they have a similar layout. And so what I've been doing that's actually been working pretty well is that I have just a running to-do list and a running to buy list in a little insert here. This is a pink insert that came with the Filofax And I like this because then I don't really need to waste paper. I can just open up my rings and pop it into the next week. And so I really like this. I think functionally it works really, really well for me. And yeah, it just works really, really well functionally for me. So I have just a couple of months in here. And I have been notating paydays, any important meetings that I need to reference, I have them in here as well. And I don't know, I have been using this so much more than I ever did my Hobonichi weeks or even this one. And I wonder if it's because I don't feel like there is a pressure to decorate it. I feel like because it is more functional for me, I have no fear of just jotting down meetings, jotting down appointments, dinners with friends. We like to host a lot here at home. And so I just feel like it's a no pressure zone. Whereas in my travelers or even in my Hobonichi weeks, I just felt like I couldn't add my appointments to the upcoming weeks because I needed to wait until I was able to decorate it first. I know that sounds silly, but I always had this fear of I cannot add anything to the next week because I have to decorate first. And so I feel like it's like a very low pressure feeling now where I can just add whatever I want, whenever I want, and I will decorate around my plans if I see fit, if I want to add decor, if I want to add washi tape. And so that has been really freeing, honestly. I think it has helped my brain a little bit, and it has just increased my productivity because I'm not scared to use my planner, even if it's not decorated, if that makes any sense. But moving on, we're going to move on to my trackers. I have been itching to do a habit tracking tracker section, and I tried to actually do that in my TN and I failed miserably. I just didn't know how to pop it into here. I didn't know which insert to put it into, which space to fit that into. And I love that I have a section for tracking things in my Filofax, and it has just been so lovely. So this is my sleep tracker, and I track my sleep in terms of faces. And so I've been tracking if I get a good night's sleep, I do a smiley face. If I don't get such a good night's sleep, I do like a sad face or a frowny face. And again, I've been in here for 2 weeks. I don't have April in here, but yeah, this has been working out really well. And this pink has nothing to do with sleep. I was gonna use this page, this insert in particular, as something else, but I really liked it for sleep tracking. So that's what I've been doing there. And I don't think I'm gonna use this inbox tracker for anything in relation to sleep. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I'll white out the things here, but I'm not using that currently. I have an add to planner page where I want to add different trackers, sections, and such to my Filofax. I have a stationery wish list of different things that I want to add to my stationery stash. And then just some blank pages. And then I have a tracker for March, and on here I track things like daily habits, like brushing my teeth, making the bed, unloading the dishwasher, all the things that I kind of want to track. Not necessarily want to track to make myself feel bad for not doing them. Mostly I want to track to see what I actually do and when, and if there are any patterns as to why I did something or why I didn't do something. And on this side, I also have like gaming with my husband. So I also have a period tracker and tracking my menstrual cycle. And like I said, I've been in here since February, so I tracked my menstrual cycle for February. I also have a sick day tracker for my kids. And I actually got these inserts from May Paper Company. I found them on Amazon. I'll have it linked below. And I really like them. They are very sturdy, really good quality. And I like that although it's a monthly like habit tracker, I can, like for this one, I did the months of the year. So March through December. And I just kind of changed it to fit my specific needs. And so I started this one in March, this sick day tracker. I didn't have this in February for my kids. But I do want to track their sick days because I noticed that they get sick a lot. And I want to know what days they got sick, how long they got sick. So this is for my daughter, and then this side is for my son. I also have a job application tracker here that I made myself. It's just a dot grid insert paper. And so I've just been tracking that. And then our eat out days. I didn't have this tracker in February. I made this in March. And so just tracking the days that we eat out. And then my stationary spending tracker on this side. And I think that's it for my trackers. I do have a bunch of blank insert pages here that I can use to add more things to my list of things I want to track. And then I have this little magazine cutout, and it says, "Our God is powerful and strong, and his plans are never thwarted." And I just think it's such a beautiful picture that I wanted to add it to here. And now this section is what I call my home section. This is my grocery list, my running lists, I guess I would say, running lists for anything that is in relation to my home or to my life I have here. And so I have a grocery list where I just, anytime I notice that we need to buy something for the upcoming grocery run, I just write it down here. I have a cleaning log. I haven't finished this yet, but I have a cleaning log of my daily things that I want to do, my weekly things, and then I also need to do my monthly like cleaning tasks. And then I have a sermon notes from church one day, and I actually cut up my old Hobonichi weeks, my 2025 Hobonichi weeks, and used the notes pages. I just ripped out the notes pages in the back and cut it to size and popped it into here. And I mean, I have been enjoying it. I like Hobonichi paper. I like how thin it is, and I didn't really want to buy a bunch of new things just to fit in here. And so I've really been enjoying cutting things out, putting it into the rings. I got this little hole puncher, and so it's been working really, really well for me to just hole punch random bits and papers and just add it to my planner, my Filofax. So it has been really, really great. And then I have notes on planner inserts and how to, scale them and print them and all the things. And then I just have like a sheet for my medical information. And then I just have a bunch of the notes pages that came with the Filofax. I really love these pink pages. I just think that they're so beautiful. It's a pop of color. And then we move on to my work section. I'm trying not to show any work information. Okay, and then I have another plastic sleeve thing, and I have been itching to I've been really wanting to have everything live in one space, and I didn't really want it to live in my Hobonichi when I had my Hobonichis. I really didn't want to marry work and my personal life in a planner system, but I currently work at our church, and it's a lot of cross contamination, as you will. It has a lot of crossover in my life, and I figured it would be best if I had it live in my Filofax, because in my weeklies I do have my meetings highlighted. I have like an all hands staff meeting here, a service planning meeting here, and I kind of just like to see what meetings I have so that I can plan for my appointments, dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, that type of stuff, without having to go look at my schedule in my Nolte, because I had a Nolte for work. And so what I did was that I just cut up a lot of the Nolte pages that I had, and popped them in here for work. And this has been working really well. I've just been popping in important information, and a lot of it is covered up because I do not want to share it with the internet. But it has been working well. I just do a running to-do list of things that I have to do for work. And I just popped it into here. I have all of my to-do list stuff for this week, and I will go on to the next week and do another running to-do list. And when I'm done referencing the information, I'm just going to throw it away. It does not need to live forever for me, if that makes any sense. But I like that everything lives in here. I love that I'm able to utilize this planner more because I have everything kind of living in one space. And so I have really enjoyed getting into work, opening up my trusty little Filofax here, and just referencing all the things that I need to do. And it's been working really, really great. So I've been happy about that. And again, I cut out a lot of the Nolte pages from the bound book. I cut up a lot of the Hobonichi pages from the Hobonichi weeks, and I have just popped those into here because I just love making to-do lists for work of all of my tasks. So yeah, that has been working really, really well. And then last section, I would say, is my notes pages. I just have all of the leftover notes pages here. I cut up my Hobonichi Weeks pencil board. I just chopped the bottom off here to fit within the rings, and then I just used my trusty little hole puncher and popped it in here. And I'm so happy that I'm able to repurpose this since I was not using it. I love this print. I love all the things that Hobonichi creates. So I'm really happy that I was able to repurpose this. It has been very, very sweet to look at. So yeah, I just have a few notes pages back here, and then I have the clear sleeve that came with the Filofax, and I just have some stamps and some checks for personal life stuff. And then back here, I just have some dot stickers, some Hub Man and Chub Girl stickers, and that is the gist. That is the run through of my current Filofax setup. This has been working so incredibly well for me. I feel like I have been so much more productive in the last 2 weeks than I ever have been in any other system, just because I have everything at my fingertips. Everything that I could possibly need or want to reference, I have at my fingertips, and that just feels so good. And I'm sure that I will adjust and morph the system to better fit me. I'm sure that maybe next month what worked for me now might not work for me then. But the beautiful thing I think about rings and about this system in general is that if something doesn't work for me, I can just easily take it out and add something else that will fit my needs, that will suit my needs. If that means me printing something, cutting it out, hole punching it and popping it into here. I think that that just works so much better for my brain. And so I've really been enjoying being in here these last couple of weeks. I'm excited to see how my system changes in here, how things change, how things work, how things don't work, how tracking goes for me. But it has been really fun to be in here. And I also wanted to note that I love that I'm able to change out the cover without necessarily having to change out the entire system. And I think that that was a big selling point for me when it came to Traveler's Company, is that I could easily buy a whole new cover without having to change anything in the inside. And that is just really, really appealing to me with this, which is something that I feel like I was missing when I had my bound books, when I had Hobonichi, when I had my cousin, when I had my weeks. And so this has just been working really, really well. And I wanted to share it with you because you guys are so supportive and so loving. And I am so thankful for this community where I'm able to share what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And I think we're all kind of on a journey to see what works best for our lives. And I'm very much aware that life isn't linear. There are a lot of highs, there are a lot of lows, there are things in life that can change so quickly. And so, having systems in life, having planners that tend to our current needs is very important. And I think that Filofax really does tend to my current needs, and I love it for that. And so I just wanted to share my recent little experiment with Filofax. Let me know in the comments if you have updated your systems currently. I know I'm not the only one who has planner hopped or who has changed their system. I'd love to know what you're currently using. But yeah, this has just been a beautiful addition to my lineup, to my setup, and I'm so excited to continue to use this. Thank you so much for joining me today as I walked you through my Filofax Saffiano and the black personal rings. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, friends.